Hi there everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Tom Voyage. So today we have here two Karus from OONI. We've got the Karu 12 and the new Karu 12G. In this video we're going to test them both, we're going to compare them to each other and find out which one is best for you. Let's go. So the Karu series from OONI is their multi-fuel pizza oven range, which means it can cook on wood, it can cook on charcoal, and it can also cook on gas with the attachment. Now the OONI Karu 12, this one here, has been out for around 3 years, and it was the first OONI that I actually owned. The Karu 12G on this side is the new version with a few upgrades. So let's talk about some of those upgrades. So first of all, let's do a quick features comparison between these two ovens. Now it is quite windy today, so if it's a bit noisy on the microphone, I do apologise. So size-wise, these two ovens are very similar, both in width and in depth. The difference is the weight. This one weighs around 12 kilograms and this one's slightly heavier at 15 kilograms. Both got a 15mm thick cordite stone that's designed to cook a 12-inch pizza, and they can heat up to around 500 degrees, which is about 900 Fahrenheit. Now OONI claims that these will get to temperature in about 15 minutes. I kind of think that's a bit optimistic. It usually takes me about 20 to 25 minutes to get these ovens up to temperature. So the Karu 12G comes in this black colour. It kind of brings it in line with the rest of the OONI ovens. It looks similar to them, and the older version has this nice stainless steel. Now I quite like the industrial look, I like the stainless steel, but I also like the black version as well. Karu 12G is noted for being a more efficient oven, so with 1.1 kilograms of fuel you'll be able to cook 10 pizzas, whereas the same amount of pizzas on the Karu 12 would take 1.5 kilograms of fuel. So that's about an increase of 36% in efficiency. However, if you were to use gas, they run at about the same, and that's 0.34 kilograms of gas per hour. So now let's talk about the price. So the original OONI Karu comes in at £299 in the UK. Now the Karu 12G comes in at £379, so it's quite a bit more expensive. Now if you were to buy either of these ovens with the gas attachment, this costs £89.99, bringing the total price to £388.99 for the Karu 12 and £468.99 for the Karu 12G. So what do you get for your extra £80? Well, on the Karu 12G you get a door on the front. You also get a thermometer on the side to help monitor the oven temperature. And of course, it's a more efficient oven. That means it should heat up faster, and once it gets to temperature, it should stay hotter for longer. There's also a couple of extra features that I like. For example, the handle on the chimney baffle. You notice there's not one on here, so you burn your fingers if you try, whereas you don't on this one. And you also get a larger fuel basket. Now I have heard reports that if you were to buy the original Karu 12, that also now comes with the larger fuel basket. So we're now ready to light these ovens. So we'll get the fuel baskets in, we'll light them up and see how long it takes them to come to temperature. Just so you can see the difference between the fireboxes here, that's the larger one that comes in the Karu 12G, and this is the smaller one that comes in the Karu 12. Now this is generally how I set them up. I start with a bed of charcoal, put one of these fire lighters in the middle there, and then to help get a flame, I'll put a bit of kindling on top as well. So first we'll light the Karu 12. And straight after we'll light the Karu 12G. Now already putting the fuel in the back of this, I enjoyed having that larger basket, made it easier to fit a slightly larger chunk of wood in, which is obviously going to create more heat and hopefully heat it up quicker. So both our ovens are now lit, so we're going to leave them for about 15 minutes and then come back and check the temperature. So the time has gone off and we're at the 15-minute mark. Now, if we look at the temperature on the side of the Karu 12, you can see that it's actually just on the tip of the orange there, so it's not quite hot enough yet. Obviously, the Karu 12, the normal one, doesn't have a thermometer, so we're going to have to do a temperature check using this thermometer. I'll do it on both just to make it a fair comparison. So the stone temperature on the Karu 12 is 363. And on the Karu 12G, it is 347, so slightly hotter on the Karu 12, but we'll leave it for another 5 or 10 minutes and see how we're getting on. So it's been another 10 minutes, that's 25 minutes in total, and you can see the temperature on the 12G is just over halfway, so we'll check temperatures on both on the stone again using the thermometer. So the Karu 12 is at 467, so that's perfect temperature to cook a pizza. And the Karu 12G is at 419, so it's a little bit cooler, still hot enough to cook a pizza. So I'm going to go inside and get those pizzas ready so we can put a pizza on each one of these ovens. I'll also mention that in that last 10 minutes I did put a couple more bits of kindling on both the ovens, and it was really handy having that extra large fuel basket of the 12G just to give you that extra room. I also like the fact that you had a door with a window in so you can check your fire without having to open the door and disrupt the airflow. Okay, so we've got our pizza ready here. So I was going to do the first cook on the Karu 12, not the Karu 12G, but due to that smaller fuel basket, the flame actually went out. So I've had to put another log on that one, and we'll do the first cook on the 12G. So here goes. So that's kind of a clear indication of how useful it is to have that extra large fuel basket. So I'll just film a bit of video, see if you can see inside there, the pizza cooking. Do get a bit of reflection on this glass, but never mind. So I'm going to wait about 30 seconds and then give this pizza a turn. And already you can see we're getting a nice bit of leopardine colour on that pizza. It's looking good. Yeah, we're getting some nice flames back on that one now, so that should be good. Turn it slightly round again. What I will do is leave a timer in the corner here so you can monitor how quickly these pizzas are cooking on these ovens. Okay, there we go. So that was the pizza cooked on the OONI Karu 12G. As you can see, it's got a nice even cook over the top. And if we lift up the base, you'll see that there's a nice bake on the bottom there as well. Right, we'll put this to one side and then we'll get the second pizza ready to cook on the normal Karu 12. Right, so time for our second pizza. We've got a nice flame on there now. So I'm just gonna brush a bit of the ash off the stone. And we'll get our second pizza on the normal OONI Karu. So this is where we're going to have a bit of guesswork coming in because I can't actually see that pizza on there now. So I've got to keep a mental note of how it's going. And that kind of comes with experience, but we'll see how it goes. And after about 30 seconds, we'll give it a turn. But that's one of the biggest differences I've seen with these two ovens. I much prefer using one that has a glass door because obviously it just makes the whole process a lot easier, especially if you're entertaining for guests or, you know, if people are relying on you for their pizza. It certainly makes it a lot easier. I would also recommend getting one of these turning peels too. They're really, really good. By the way, if you like what you've seen in this video, please remember to click like and subscribe. And if you wanted to buy either of these ovens, I'll put links in the description below. It doesn't cost any more money, but it helps me out with a bit of commission so we can carry on doing these kind of videos for the future. And again, like the last pizza, I'll put a timer below so we can see which one's cooking at what time. The good news is the wind's died down a bit, so hopefully that's helping our ovens keep a more consistent temperature. A few more seconds and that one should be done. This oven actually might be running hotter now because we added an extra piece of kindling to it to keep it going and to keep that flame in there while we cook the first pizza. So we're getting them as close as we can though. Okay, that's looking good. Maybe slightly overcooked. Again, that's down to having to do a bit of guesswork and not being able to see that pizza, but if you look under there, you can see that the base will be cooked nice. So what we'll do now is we'll get them over on the table and compare them side by side. Okay, so here are our two pizzas. There's a bit of difference in colour, maybe due to the time that they spent on the oven or if one oven was hotter than the other, but this was the one cooked on the 12G and this one was the one cooked on the OONI Karu 12. So that's the base on the pizza that came off the 12G and that one is the base that came off the OONI Karu 12. So let's cut into these and do a bit of a taste test. We'll do the Karu 12G first. So it's a softer crust, maybe because the oven wasn't as hot as the other one. Great tasting pizza though. There's enough hold on that base to hold the toppings. The crust is nice and crunchy. That's actually just how I like my pizza. Now we'll go for the one that was cooked on the older Karu, the Karu 12. So instantly there is a more darker crust. Again, that could be down to the fact the oven was hotter because we put another kindling log on it before we cooked the pizza. Or it could be the fact that I left it on longer, I'm not sure. I mean, they were made using the exact same ingredients and taste-wise, they taste very, very similar. There is just slightly more crunch on the one that was that's a darker bake. But overall, do I prefer one taste than the other? Not really. They're very, very similar in taste and quality. So thanks very much for watching this comparison between the OONI Karu 12 and the OONI Karu 12G. I hope you found it useful. So overall, my thoughts on these two ovens is that they're both brilliant. I've owned this oven for a number of years now and I've never had a problem with it. It's always been consistent and cooked great pizza. I do, however, like the upgrades that they've made to this new one. I think that larger fuel basket is a game changer. I think the door on the front is really helpful. And if, like OONI claims, that it's got a better heat retention and you can cook more pizzas one after the other, that's a great upgrade too. In terms of the taste of the pizzas, I don't think one cooked a better tasting pizza than the other. So the question really comes down to which one should you buy? So if you're new to OONI and you've never owned one of their ovens before, I would recommend going for the OONI Karu 12G. Having that extra room in the fuel basket makes it easier to make a consistent temperature. The glass door will make it easier to monitor your fuel and monitor your pizzas whilst you're cooking. And all round, you're buying a newer, more innovative product. Now, if you want to save a bit of money and you're really not bothered about those extra features, buying the Karu 12 is still going to get you a great pizza oven that's capable of cooking amazing pizza. So if you've already got the Karu 12 and you're considering upgrading, I would only do so if that door on the front means a lot to you. It's an oven that's perfectly capable of cooking great pizzas, and if you did want to upgrade it, just buying that extra large fuel basket to go in the Karu 12 is going to help you out. So to summarise, if you're new to OONI, get the Karu 12G. If you've already got the Karu 12, stick with it unless you really want that door. Thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy it, please remember to like and subscribe. If you've got any questions or comments, you can leave them in the comments section below, and please join us next time for more pizza making videos. See you later.